What's going on, everybody? Anthony Campo here, your coach and host of the Be Battle Ready podcast. And today I want to talk to you about a little shift in our direction.
Welcome to the Be Battle Ready podcast, where we take a deep dive into what it takes to be battle ready in your lifestyle so that you can go to war on your life and the marketplace and win.
All right. So, as you can tell, we have a new intro, and I'm super excited for that. But, I want to talk a little bit about a little shift in this podcast. Not a huge shift, but it's always been a part of it. But I've been talking a lot more about it lately. And I want to continue talking about it, not get rid of everything else, but incorporate this because it's important. Okay. And this idea, primarily when I started off, my coaching, business in the last almost 2 years now, the primary focus was to help business owners specifically in their business. But what I came to find out was that, giving business owners certain things to do and, working with them on their business, it ends up that their lifestyle doesn't always support them, what they're trying to accomplish in their business. Okay. And what they end up doing sometimes is, ends up sacrificing either one area of their business, and I always want you might have experienced this yourself. Like, you put so much time getting your business off the ground that your health goes to crap, right? You gain weight, you're eating bad food, you're not sleeping, you're not taking care of yourself, and you're relatively unhealthy, and you start feeling like crap. Okay? And then in other areas, you don't really kind of you're always working. You don't take time for your mental health, for your spiritual health, and you just continue to sacrifice that. Okay. And then it spills over into your relationships where, you might not be in the best situation. You might be good in your, relationship with your spouse, loved one, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, whatever that might be. If you have kids, then, you're not spending the time that you want with your kids because you have to get this business off the ground. But there might be one area in your life where you're actually doing pretty well, and that might be business. Okay. Or on the other side of that, the rest of your life, because you do not want to sacrifice that, is pulling you away from your business, and it's not really producing all the results in all four areas of your life. And this has to do with having a way of living, a way of operating, and it's really what I'm getting at is that you need a way of doing that, right? A way of balancing out your life so you can live a well-balanced, fruitful life, experiencing all the areas in your life that you love, having, be in the best health, be in great shape, eating great food, having good nutrition, and then spiritually, having spiritually in your mindset is, really having a mindset that is, balanced, that's not obsessive, that, maybe you're stressed out all the time, and it doesn't have to be, feeling connected to God's source, whatever you believe that to be. And then having a really deep connection with your spouse, or the one you love. And then, really being, if you have kids or friends or family, having good connections with them and having time for them. And then also spending time, doing great things in your business, right? Having the business you all want. And a lot of times we have one or two, but we don't always have them all, right? And, what I've forced myself to do in a good way of forcing myself to do, and what I've taught some of the business owners that I work with to do is a way to balance all this all out, right? And this is the goal, and this is the idea about being like living this the best life you can, right? We're here to live the best life, to make the most impact on other people's lives, to love the ones that we love truly and appreciate them as gifts. And if you have kids and if that's your thing, raising kids, then raise your kids to be great human beings, great members of the society and the world. And, actually do something and enjoy yourself along the way. And in this is kind of like the holistic focus of this, right? And then we dive into the business side of this, and, we could have a whole nother conversation. For me, this is what I'm considering around a lifestyle, right? And, we've been focused a lot on this podcast about building a battle-ready business, right? But I also want to start talking about what it takes to build a battle-ready life. And, for me, I've gone back and forth with this battle-ready concept, this idea, is it me, is it not? But, because I've never served in the military, I grew up on a sports team, specifically in high school that, the coach, high level, real well organized, we ran the college program. And I don't do that, talk about this to glorify it, and go back to that and relive that. I only look at that as a case study and an experience that taught me how to run an organization, a team at a high level. And for me, for us, he referenced us as being a warrior on that, and for me, part of that, when we walked onto that field, we were prepared, right? We were prepared to outwork everybody. We would go, we were in better conditioned than other teams. Like, we wouldn't lose our legs in the third quarter. We would run all the way through the fourth quarter. And I use this as an analogy because this is what part of being this concept of being battle ready, of training yourself and being ready to go all the way to the fourth quarter. Okay. The other part of this about being battle ready, and this applies to your lifestyle, right? If we apply this to your lifestyle, you are fit because, because it's at the highest level, it's the thing that God gave you that's physically represented. That you yourself should respect this thing as much as possible. And another part of that is it's freaking fun when you're fit. Like the things that you can do, and how you feel and how much energy you have. And, in further episodes, I want to talk about the 5 energy centers inside our life, right? Where we can access energy, but, and what that means and all that. But, being battle ready physically is like you wake up and you feel great. You don't have aches and pains. Like you can go run, at 5K, no problem, 10K, no problem. And, you feel great. And that carries off into the rest of your day, how well you can actually go in and be spiritual, because there's definitely connection between that, how much you can get into your heart and connect with the people around you, and showing up. And if you have to work a 12-hour day, 15-hour day, over and over again, your body is ready to take that, because there's those times that you're going to have to do that. And, a part of this is training, right? Training to be prepared and conditioned in all 4 areas of our life. Training in our physical body, right? Training in our spiritual, so that we know our purpose. We're 100% connected to, God and how we are, right? I mean, this is for you if you believe in a different version of spirituality, whatever that might be for you, right? But you are prepared, right? And that that you have the people behind you that have your back, and that if you need to go work 3, 4, 5 days, long days, because you're pushing out a project that, you've invested enough in them, and they support you and your vision enough, and that relationship is connected. But that's also enough for them to be like, go for it. We support you. You're the best. We believe in you. and then prepared in your business that, you know, every system's on point, every team member is on point and knows exactly what they need to do, when they need to do it. And if you say, hey, we need to make a course correct to the right, you know, everybody moves in step. And that dives in, that talks about the physical training, about, you know, the analogy of when we went to our, in high school, we, you know, talking about this team, we prepared from February all the way through summer, right? We had a few breaks, but, you know, our seasons ended in December. We started up on February 1st or 2nd, right when we got back from Christmas break. You know, a few weeks after that, we were going, right? So again, I'm using this as an analogy. So the other part about what I understood about winning in that team was the playbook, right, that we had, right? The playbook, and this applies to you in your life, right, in your home, in how you operate in your body, like how you do that, right, in your training, having a playbook for your training, you know, and having a mission for your training. We'll get into that, but having a playbook of how things go down, right? The more organized and systematic you can get, not like crazy over systematic, but if you have a way of doing something, and your efficiency rises. And this applies in your fitness, spirituality, into your how you operate with your loved ones. You know, when are you going on vacation, right? How are you planning your year? How are you co-creating with your family, you know, your wife and your kids and everybody doing it together, right? And that touches a little bit later in the culture piece, but we'll come back to that. And then over here in your business, you know, having a playbook where everybody knows what to do, how to do it, and what's required. Okay? So having a playbook inside your lifestyle and in your business is vital for your success, so you can reduce the amount of stress, but also increase the effectiveness and efficiency in your life. Right? And then one of the other key aspects of winning, what I understood, was this culture piece, right? There was a culture. Part of this culture was a set standard, an ethos to live by, right? Back then there was three things: pride, poise, and courage, right? Those were three arching principles that we did. But we knew the standard to which we were being held to, how we dressed, right? How we showed up, how we practiced, how we prepared, how we played, right? Did we quit or we never quit, right? The intensity that we came into it. There was a culture there. And, you know, just like this, if you're a part of your family, husband, wife, right? You got to realize, like, when you have kids and all that, there's a culture that a part of your own, you know, in your own personal ethos, your personal, you know, thing. And a part of the culture is the actual mission that you're trying to accomplish. That's a part of it, right? And that's another key element. But this mission and this culture that you have, and you know, is all a part of this, and all comes together. And this applies across all areas of your life, right? And for me, this is what I've formulated as being battle ready. Right? That you have this stuff in place, that you're living this way, that you're operating this way inside your life and inside your business, that you're prepared, you train in these areas, you develop these areas, you know, you have goals and missions that you want to accomplish. You're pushing forward in all these areas. So as we started this episode off, this is what I'm starting to incorporate a little more into this podcast. We'll spend some time in business, and we'll talk about the marketing, sales, client service, and the leadership aspect, but also bringing in this aspect of, you know, how do you live a battle-ready lifestyle, right? How do you live a well-balanced, well-prepared, you know, just something that you feel so amazing to wake up to. I think this is important because, you know, I mean, you have podcasts that talk just about business, and then podcasts just talked about lifestyle. But, you know, if the more I've taught people lifestyle a way to live this way and to work this way is that a lot of the stuff crosses over, right? And it needs to be brought, the lifestyle teaching that I do and the business teaching I do cross over to each other, and they build upon each other. And if you focus just on business and you don't have the lifestyle component dialed in and all sorted out, you're going to be not as effective as you could be. But if you are really effective over here on the business side, then I know that something's being sacrificed, and I don't want to see families broken apart because of too much focus on business, right? Because real success, in my definition, is being in the best shape you can at the age that you can, right? This doesn't mean being obsessive into it where you're spending 10, 20 hours training. I mean, if that's what you're up to, and that's really what really, and the rest of the stuff is on point, then that's fine. But, and then I guess it's not sacrificing any of these things, right? Is to be at the best you can in all those areas and to continue to push forward. So, I'm excited to, talk more about this, bring this together, because if, I see a lot of, small business owners, solopreneurs, or some of the few people on their team really struggle to kind of put it all together inside their physical health, their physical or lifestyle, and then also in their business and grow their business, because they got into business probably to most likely to live by their own own their own thing, not work for anybody else, and have the freedom, and the liberation that it can provide you. It's not a guarantee. But it is there. So I appreciate you spending the time today, and I'll sign off, and I'll see you later, and I'll let you listen to our new outro.
This concludes another episode of the Be Battle Ready podcast. If you're looking to put it all together across all the areas of your life and be battle ready, come get connected with powerful leaders in our Be Battle Ready Facebook group, where we will be dropping new battles to win each day.